Welcome to the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, subscribe to this channel. Share this out on your social media platforms. I would really appreciate it. And if you are watching in the replay, my replay gang, leave me a comment in the comment section below about this important topic. So, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for this topic? I've been wanting to cover this topic for a little bit in talking about outgrowing relationships. So, this is part two in this series. Um, Previously, we talked about outgrowing romantic relationships, and today we're talking about outgrowing friends. So, I can say with complete transparency that there are people that we claim are our friends that really are not our friends. We are a friend to them, but they are not a friend to us. And it's really hurtful when you come to that realization when we think that people are our friends, but the things that they do prove otherwise. And we're going to get into all of those things. But I can say, I know everybody. I know it hurts when you have somebody that you trust, that you love, that you bring into your personal thoughts. You tell them private things, and trust is betrayed, or lots of other hurtful things. So, we're going to get into all of those things, but I just wanted to start off this discussion talking about that. That it's very hurtful when you have somebody that you trust and you love as a friend. And I will even say that I've had people that were my friends, quote unquote, that really turned out to be like my sister or my brother. And then when something happened and it went left, I felt it was such a deep betrayal because for in my eyes they were like my brother or sister, but to them I really it was like, okay, you're just a friend. So I think we need to have that sort of conversation too, to talk about that. The people that we trust, should you actually trust? I do think that the word friend is given out so loosely, saying things like, they're my friend, this person is my friend, when they have done nothing to prove anything that they are a friend to you. They are not your friend. So everybody, let's stop calling everybody in 2023 and moving forward. Let's stop calling everybody our friend. There's a big difference, and we did a few podcasts talking about that there's different types of relationships that you can have that we think that are our friends when they could just be an associate. It could just be a workmate. So make sure you check out that playlist and watch those if you want to get some more. Hey, Matthew, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Tuesday. Realist one. What's going on? Got a mod in the house. Really do appreciate you being here. I hope you're doing good. Hey, Anita, how are you doing? Welcome in, everybody. If you have not already, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, and share this out. So, all my chat family, how do y'all feel about friends? Is it even possible anymore? Do people actually have friends? Because I find that a lot of things changed. A lot of things changed for me when all this business happened with the pandemic. I really found out who my true friends are, and will say it like, oh, that's my friend. No, you are their friend, but they are not yours. I found it to be very interesting what happened during the pandemic. Um, you really find out who really cared about you, who was willing to take time out of their busy schedule, even though everybody was at home. It's like, hello, do you think we're stupid over here? So they claim to be so busy when I feel like that's those were the times where you really had nothing else to do but to call people and FaceTime people because you couldn't go anywhere and do anything. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah, so for me, that was the times where I found out who my real friends were, the ones that were really checking on me to ask, like, "Hey, how you doing? How's everything in your world?" And there definitely is different type of relationships, everybody, different type of friendships. Those are the ones that you can have, the ones that you talk to from time to time, but it doesn't lose its power of the friendship. You don't have to talk to them every day, every week. You can talk to this person once, twice a year, and you just will pick up where you left off. Those are the relationships that have longevity. Some skin in the game. You've been through some things together. So you don't need to talk to them every day for it to be like we're good friends. You already know because regardless, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back. Definitely, 100%. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Thank you for being here and everybody in the chat. How's everybody doing on this Tuesday? Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, it's real talk, Anita. I really found out who my real people are, male and female, um, that were really my true blue friends and not just the seasonal friends. I think people need to be more transparent about the fact that the ones they call friends are actually the complete opposite. Right there, right there. Drop the mic on that one, realist one. For me, I found out that the people that I claimed was my friends in quotes, they actually were not my friends. They actually were my friends when things were going well. So they actually were users and gaslighters and the whole gamut of everything. they we think a lot of times that people are our friends, but when you get in situations and all you need is a comforting word, some support, there is nothing but crickets, right? mm, Offline and online, it should start there first, right? hmm Yeah, I hear it all the time. People always talking about that's my friend. That's my friend. That's my friend. And then when you go through something, you're looking around like, where are my friends? Nowhere to be seen. They're nowhere to be seen because they're not your friend. Sometimes you have to get shook into that realization. We think a lot of times that people are our friends, but I do believe that you need to test the waters. Test the waters, everybody, and find out if these people are actually your friends or are they the fake friends or, like I like to call them, fake supporters. Fake supporters, everybody. Don't get it twisted. So let's stop putting that out there in the atmosphere, okay? Let's stop putting it out in the atmosphere that people are your friend and all they are is ones that are trying to clout chase. They're trying to get something from you, they're trying to use you. Something like all of that wrapped into one thing. It's like a melting pot, a stew of all sorts of things. Having a good friend is one of the most precious gifts that you can ever get in this life. Your ride or dies. If you have some ride or die people, and I'm grateful that I have three ride or dies in my life. There's no questions asked. Call me up and say, let's roll. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm going to about to do something. We'll talk about it later. Right now, let's get into some action. If you got some ride or die people that, good or bad, whether you did right or wrong, they got your back. And that's very rare to find your ride or die. When you do good and when you do bad, they're going to support you. Cherish those people. Okay. Then you have the ones that are your spiritual friends that you can lean on them for a kind word, a prayer, meditation, some peaceful support, somebody you can vent to, and you know that it won't go anywhere, but it'll stay right there with them. Those are good friends to have. And then there's financial friends that are going to help you through your rough and your dark times. They're going to help you to get yourself all the way together, get your credit together, make sure you got everything in place. Those are important friends to have too. And then sometimes you have the cross support friends that it dips into a little bit of all of them. So let me get back to this chat and see what you guys are saying down here in the comment section. Okay. Yes, offline and online. Some people have different meanings of what a friend is. Yeah. And that's why it's important to test the waters. It's important um, to, from time to time, ask certain questions to see how people's head is and to listen in the background and not just go by what we think, but has the person changed? Because people do change. And maybe at one time they were a good friend, and then it changes and maybe they can't be your friend anymore. Maybe they're going through a lot of things. So we're going to get into that as well. Now, that's so true, Anita. When you go through something as debilitating as that, that's where you find out who your real friends are. And I'm so sorry that the ball was dropped by certain individuals. But now you know. When you ask questions and when you go through certain things in your life, you really find out who you can depend on. Yeah, but that's how it happens. That's how it happens for real. Hey, the mother and daughter duo. How are you doing? Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Miss Yo-Yo's Closet over 50. Appreciate you being here. Happy Tuesday to you. Yeah, I believe in that 100%, to always test the waters, always. I always do the seasonal test of my friends, every 3 months. Throw something out there, you know, something that is necessarily something that you would keep to yourself and see if you hear back. Just listen. Just keep your ears open. Keep your ears open and listen if you hear it back. That's an indicator. Another thing is when how like people will always say, "I'm your friend. Call me if you need me." Test that out. Not in anything huge or big, but just a small thing. Test it out and see. Hey, I'm having some car trouble. I I'm low on my funds. Do you think I could borrow $10 until Friday? Not that you need it, but just to test. Just a test. See, so that you can see really if they are what they say they're about. Okay. Welcome in, Miss Yo-Yo. How are you doing? Courtesy, respect, loyalty has to all be equal, acting accordingly on both sides on every level. That part. All of that, I agree with all of that. So we're going to get into some more of that too, realist one. But great point. Hey, puzzle pieces, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you. Appreciate you being here. And if you guys have not, please hit the like for me. So let's start with point number one. In outgrowing relationships, and this point is friends, one way that we can outgrow is a relationship with a friend, quote unquote, is when you're getting a lack of support. You know, you need whatever that support is. It could be mental support, emotional support, just sometimes physical support. Sometimes you just need uh to see your friend, just like, I'm just here. Just having somebody just show up for you on the celebratory matters, and also on the tragic, the traumatic, the hurtful, the times when you're experiencing some loss. Uh, those are the times where we need support, not just when it's a celebration and a party, but when you're going through something in your life. You got to test those waters to find out, will I get supported by this individual? And if not, we have to ask ourselves, why am I not being supported? There are times where it is reasonable that sometimes a friend can't show up because they're going through a major health problem, financial difficulty, breakup, something major is happening to them. So we have to also extend some compassion to friends as well. They may not always be able to support us like they want to, but they will always find a way to check in on us from time to time. Okay. So let's get to point number two, outgrowing relationships and friends. This is a major one for me. If I hear, if I ever hear my private business, and I'm clenching my fists right now, if I ever hear something that we talked about in private, something secret, and you went and opened your mouth, okay? You ever opened up your mouth and told something that was personal and private between the two of us to a person you're in a relationship with, your family, or somebody, an outsider, somebody that's not even in our circle. That's a quick way. The cut off and the block game will be so quick, your head will spin. I don't play those type of games, and I hope you don't either, chat family. There's certain things that you just don't divulge. And people always say things like, oh, I didn't know, you didn't want anybody else to know. Like, really? Like, really? I don't know. I don't know if people think that, like, people are stupid as an adult, like you haven't been through some things and you don't have like some knowledge and wisdom. I don't like when people play mind games like that. Oh, I didn't know, you didn't want me to tell you, tell another person. I shouldn't have to. I should just be able to trust you. So if you find that you can't trust a person with personal matters that they have to go and blab to everybody in the world, mm-mm, that relationship has run its course. Okay, it has run its course. Thank you so much, the mother and daughter duo. I really appreciate that. Very sweet of you. Anita says that's a person you don't need, and you definitely don't. You definitely don't need everybody in your life. Recognize that, everybody. We think a lot of times we need people in our life. And like my dad always told me, when you were born in this world solo dolo, okay, by yourself. And you can go through things by yourself too. But it's always so much nicer when you have somebody you can trust, but there are times where you may be going through a season where you're just running the course on your own because you can't find trustworthy, loyal, or respectable people, the ones that aren't going to stab you in your back. So all those things. Mm, right? So we don't need our private business told to the entire world. Don't let people gossip about you and tell your private business and then take them back with the, oh, I'm sorry, or I didn't know you didn't want me to tell anybody. Yeah, don't do that. That friendship has run its course. Yeah, a person that has known you well should know not to blab your business with anyone else. Yeah, and I mean anyone else. I don't even care if it's your siblings, even though we're talking about friends. There's certain things that it's like you don't even tell your husband, the husband or wife, when something is going on between you and that person. That's not between you and the person you're in a relationship with. And even if they ask and say, well, they asked, even if you ask, that's not none of your business. That's between me and my friend. And I mean that about all my friends. The things that my friends tell me, I don't care what another person would have asked me, what they want to know. That's between me and them, and those things will go with me until I leave this earth. That's real. That's real talk right there. And I think more people need to work on themselves and why they can't hold water. Okay. I skipped one. Point number 3, you outgrow a relationship with a friend when you just are growing apart. Sometimes it's not always this big toxic thing that they were a toxic person or anything like that, but there are times where, as friends, you just go in different directions and you want the best for them, but they're going in one direction that's not not the direction you're going in. So you just have to part ways because it's just you just don't aren't vibing like you used to. So you just gotta go your separate ways, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing negative, it's nothing toxic. See, when you're a whole grown woman or a whole grown man, you know how to say, I wish you the best, even if it's not with me. Even in romantic relationships too, you should be that sort of grown person that you wish the person the best, even if it's not with them. But everybody's not on that level playing field, right? So there are times that you grow apart, where they may be doing something that maybe you're like, I'm not on board with that, or you don't like the direction where they're heading down, and it could be affecting you mentally, or maybe you move away and then the other starts acting brand new. So, some things like that, you know, sometimes you just grow apart from people, and it's nothing in a negative light. It's just you change or they change or they're around people who have changed them. So that's just the end of it. And you just have to, I think it's best when you see that you're starting to draw apart. It's best before there starts being any negative, like someone saying something about another person and all of these things. It's just better to cut ties at that point and say, I wish you the best. I hope you have a great life. And then you just do that because you're a grown adult. Yep. Sometimes friends are here for a season, Anita. I agree with that 100%. Puzzle pieces, what are you laughing at? What's funny? I'm about to put this link here in the chat because I only have 2 more points and I want to hear what you guys have to say. So here's another one. Point number 4, outgrowing a relationship with a friend, controlling. Ooh, like my eye is twitching on this one. That's one thing, you girl, I cannot take. I cannot take a person who is controlling. I can't take it. I'm not a controlling person. I give people their space in their room, and I expect the same thing. And there are sometimes when people are your friends, they get very controlling of your time, of they don't want you to have another friend besides them, or they want to control everything about you, you know, how you look, how you dress, especially if you're becoming more successful. They want to be involved with every single thing that you're doing, and they want to know, they want to have access to so many things. And that's just, it's just not a good thing when you're around somebody who is controlling, because I always say a person who is controlling is also a person who has some anger issues. They usually go hand in hand. A controlling person usually has anger, some anger management problems. And I can't deal with that. I can't go back in time for that one because, yeah, your girl used to be, I used to be one of them that had a major anger issue. So I can't be around people anymore who are angry. I can only hang with people who are at peace in their life. I put in too much work and invested too much in myself, and I hope the same for all of you, chat family. Invest some time in yourself. Get to know what you want and what you're about. And don't let people who are your friends control you and control your life. Yes, I dislike people like that. I can't do the controlling. I can't. See, that's what I'm laughing about. First, the fist. Now the eyes are twitching. Well, it is what it is. That's just how it is for me. Yeah. I was one angry person. I think I was angry until I was probably 23 years old. I was angry until then. Then I had to get it all out of my system. And I was like, life is too short to be angry, and I can't waste not even one day of my life, even with work. Anything that I'm doing in my life has to have peace. That's why I do the work that I do, because I give peace to people and all of those things. Yeah. My very best friend for life got mad. I didn't tell her I got cancer before I told my family, and that broke 40 years of a friendship. Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that, Anita. There are some times that that's how some people are. They want to be in the inside lane of everything. They want to know everything first. And a really good friend would be understanding that you would tell your the closest people to you first. So I'm so sorry that happened to you, Anita. It's very hurtful. But then you find out, like puzzle pieces is saying here, that means that she wasn't a real friend, because family is first, then friends. That's how it works. But that's it's just very unfortunate when we think somebody is our friend and they turn out to not be. This is a big one, a big deal breaker. You outgrow a relationship with a friend because they lie, and not just lie about small things. They lie about everything. What do they call those? A serial liar. And they just it's just constant lie about everything. I actually had a relationship with somebody that I'm going to talk about at another time that was a serial narcissist. And that was interesting. But they lie about everything. Can't trust anything that they say, anything that comes out of their mouth. Everything is a lie. They lie. And when somebody lies, usually lying, a person who lies is a person who cheats too. So you got to be very careful with those sort of friendships. Marlene, with respect, not always. Sometimes family is the worst. I, I can agree with that to the mother and daughter duo. I'm always open to others' opinion. I'm not a person who just thinks my opinion is the only opinion. I don't work that way. Yeah, it can be family can be worse. Yeah. But for me personally, the mother and daughter duo, my family is not just those who are related to me by blood. My family is the ones that I can trust with everything. I can lower all my inhibitions with. And I have those that really are my friend, but they are my brothers and my sisters because of the things that we've been through together. So those I don't have to ever worry about. But people who are your relatives, that's a that's a whole nother thing. I don't give my trust to people because they are my relative. I give you trust because you deserve that sort of trust. All of that. So that's a big one for me. I hope it's a big one for you too, chat family. Don't let people tell you all the lies. And then what the one thing that I can't stand is a person will lie to you and then want to blame you because they were caught in a lie. That's another thing I can't stand. Like, why are you mad because you got caught? I don't get it. Here's another one. You outgrow a relationship or a friendship because the person is manipulative. We could talk about this topic for a whole hour. Let's add to the stage Nexie.
You know it.
Hey,
Hi, hi Marlene. Hi, chat.
how are you doing?
Great topic.
Thank
Um,
you.
and yeah, I wish we had like 24 hours for this one. But I had a friend of 15 years that our children grew up together. And I found out that she was um, talking about my private business, what I was going through,
Mm.
with my marriage. And she was saying it to people that weren't even in our circle. She said it to somebody else's mom. And this lady came up to me and said, you know what, you got to be very careful because this person is not really your friend. And I was like, what? What do you mean? We are
Yeah.
friends. But I discovered then that she wasn't. And what hurt me the most, because besides that, I found out like probably a couple of weeks after this lady said this to me, she had gotten separated from her husband, right? And she has a daughter, right? Pretty much the same age as my kids. She only has one kid. And because she was going through that, I said, hey, I'm going to give you this credit card, right? Keep it,
Uh-oh.
use it in case of an emergency. But I mean, I'm talking 15 years of friendship, where we will go
You
back
had
and
that sort of
forth.
trust.
We
You had
Oh
that
yeah, oh
trust.
no, yeah, yeah. Well, she had borrowed money from me before, paid me back. I never had the need to do that, borrow money or anything, but I could count on her for other things, like babysitting. Sometimes I didn't have someone. My mother-in-law wasn't feeling well, so she will take care of my kids. So we'll go back and forth like that. And I gave her that, and I said, just use it, in case of an emergency. Give it back to me when you're settled, when you're ready. And I didn't know what was going on because, like I said, I told her in case of an emergency. I really don't use credit cards, but I had that one that they had sent me. So I was like, why not? So I activated it and gave it to her. So when this lady said that to me, I started like thinking, like, wait a minute, this is kind of weird. Why would she be doing this? You know, we've known each other for so long. I didn't want to believe that she would do this to me because, you know, this was personal, very, very personal. It wasn't something that I was telling anyone. People didn't know the reason of my separation or anything, and she was, you know, divulging that to to this lady, and I can imagine to her family as well. So I check into my credit card and I find out that it's to the max and that hasn't been paid. That hasn't been paid for 3 months.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It wasn't much. It was only $1,500. You know, it wasn't like 20,000 or anything. It was just 1,500. But the thing was to the max, and she had not paid my credit card for 3 months. That means my credit was ruined because, you know, when you have that, your numbers go down. By the time I talked to her, she said, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I had to use it. I had an emergency. I said, why haven't you been paying it? You should have told me. She said, oh, I was going to tell you. I forgot. And she was already dating this other guy, like probably a month after she left her husband. So it was kind of weird. It was a weird situation. And so long story short, finally I said, okay, so what's going to happen? Are you going to pay me that money so I can pay the credit card? What's going to happen? She said, why should I pay you 1,500 when the credit card says they can settle for 600? Yep.
Mm.
So I ended up paying it back. My credit, you know, it took a hit because, you know, it went into like delinquent mode. and and I like I said, I don't use credit cards. You know, if I cannot buy something, if I don't have the money for it, I don't buy it. You know, I'll save up for whatever I want, including cars. You know, I have saved up until I can pay my cars cash, brand new cars. You know, I'm not that person that is going to get credit lines for anything. I don't believe in that. You know, so I was just so disappointed, and a 15-year friendship went down the toilet. But karma and
Oh, I think your mic went out, Nexie. She'll be back, everybody. Are you there? I don't hear them. I don't hear you, Nexie. Okay, I think you're back now.
Um, oh, there you go. I'm sorry, Marlene. I think I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, you did. It's
Can
okay.
you hear me?
Continue.
Oh,
I
I
hear
cannot
you.
hear you.
You
Let
can't
me
hear me?
get out and come back in.
Okay, sure. So, um, I'm so sorry that that happened to Nexie, and I feel like when it comes to your friends, it's a very touchy area to do the money thing. And while I can feel sorry for my friend, for me, I think the best thing for me is I would rather just give somebody a personal gift of some money than to for it to be something where they have to pay me back. That's just how I am. I rather just say this is what I can give you and this is the best that I can do so that I know it wouldn't be anything like any issues and stuff like that. But I can understand what you're saying, Nexie.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I said, it was many years of friendship. And I never, you know, I never expected her to do that. But this is what I was saying before I lost you. Before I lost connection. Karma exists, and I tell people this all the time. You have to be careful because karma is real. You know, sometimes you pay back what you do to others with something that is actually very precious to you. Um, she did because she was going into this when she left her husband. she got involved with somebody else. Like I said, she already was living with somebody else, okay, with a 12-year-old daughter, living with somebody else already. And this guy was kind of shady, right?
Mm.
So they were doing some kind of business. And yesterday I mean, that day you said when you help somebody and it hurts you. I was gonna tell this story, but I saved it for today.
Okay.
So she was doing something shady, and she allowed somebody to use her green card to cross the border. And she
What?
was, yes, and she was kind of on the other side, right? She gave them, the person was going to use it to cross over, and she was going to use, I guess, something else to show, that she was, that she had her, papers. And almost got away with it because the lights went out. They lost power, and they were about to let her go when the lights came back up. And they had caught this lady that was using her
Uh-oh. Your audio went out
green.
again.
Got caught in the act.
Okay, it's back.
So she lost a lot of things. Yeah, I'm sorry. She lost. So they were gonna do like she was gonna allow this person to use it, and they did. They used it, and then they had a glitch. The lights went out. They almost got away with it because they were already on the border. They were gonna let him go, and then the lights came back up, and they actually caught both of them at the border, like in a distance, like three different booths from each other. So they caught him because the same name was checking in.
Oh,
So
wow.
she lost her papers, she lost her house, she lost everything. She had to pay a lawyer a lot of money to try to get her back because her daughter was still a minor. So she had to pay a lawyer. They brought her back, but to this day, she can never get papers again.
Wow. See, a lot of that's what people don't realize, that when you do something to somebody else, it's always gonna be, it's all will always come back. And like my mom used to always say, that when something comes back to a person who offended you, when it comes back, when it's their turn, it's always worse.
Yes, it's five
It's
times.
always worse.
My dad used to say, when you do something bad to someone, it comes back to you 5 times fold. I never
Mhm.
knew what he meant. 5 times over. And it happened, and it's been probably like 20 years since this no, probably like 15 years since this happened, since we lost our friendship and everything. And she has seen my kids in places, and she asked, how's your mom? I've been messaging her, on Facebook, and I've texted her, but I think she changed her number. And my daughter's like, oh, she's doing good. She's doing good. And I'll let her know that you asked about her and that you have messaged her, but I haven't responded to any of it. There's no such thing. No
Right.
second chances on my part. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So how about this one? When you outgrow a friendship, outgrow a relationship, a friendship, and it's because they won't spend time with you. My experience is that they always make an excuse that they don't have any time because they're
Mm.
so busy. I'm so super busy, right? Mm-hmm.
I had a friend too, that a couple of, actually, one was my cousin, but distant cousin. So we became more like friends than family because we didn't know each other. So we became fast friends. And then a coworker that I had befriended, and I knew her for years, so we're friends. And every time I called Marlene, like, you guys want to go out, like, do you want to go out to eat? Oh, I can't, I'm really busy, I have to work a double, and I'm so busy, blah, blah, blah. And I will believe them until one day, um, since neither one of them could go, I told my daughter, I said, let's go out to eat. They're busy, she's working a double, so I can't. The other one said something else, I don't remember. But the one that I really wanted to see, my cousin, um, she was working a double as well. Not my coworker. But anyway, so I go to the restaurant with my daughter, and we're eating, we're having fun. And who do I see coming with a whole bunch of bags from different retail stores to eat at
Ooh.
the restaurant? The both of them were coming in to eat because they were shopping. And that's when I
Mm.
understood, you know what? This is done. Their face, Marlene, they turned white. Like everything left their faces. Like, I could see them sweating, like really scared. And I said hi to them. You guys want to join our table? You guys feel free. But they were like, oh, no, no, we just got here. They didn't even know what to say, Marlene. Nothing. And I
Mm-hmm.
was cool, calm, and collected because I had my daughter. And they ended up having a fallout, by the way. And then
Oh,
each
wow.
one of them independently, what are you doing? Do you want to go out? I said, nope. The day I saw you guys at that restaurant, that was the last time I was you guys' friend. I said I couldn't say anything then because my daughter was in front of me. But I'm telling you now, no chance in hell that I will ever be your
Ever.
friend again.
What they say? What's that one movie? They say ever, 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 ever.
Ever, 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 ever. Yep. And that was it. And they ended up having a fallout, which is something that a lot of people don't understand, Marlene. When you give your friendship to someone, at least me, and I have the same mentality as you do, family to me is not blood related per se. It's the people that I have a connection with that when I'm have had the hardest times in my life have been right by my side in silence or in crazy mode with bats in hand, whatever it is, the person it's been, or those two or three people have been there for me. And they're not family, blood family, but they are my family
Right.
because I have given them my friendship and it has become that. So what people don't understand is that you have to nurture, you have to take care of that friendship, you have to protect in the same way that you do to family.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that 100%. That it, not everybody that is our friend appreciates us, and that's why I always say you got to make sure that you're spending time together, even if you're not in the same state or country. It doesn't take anything to send a text, an email, a WhatsApp, whatever. With all of the technology that we have now, there's no excuse for people to when they say they don't have the time.
Mm.
There's no excuse. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and or they give you that excuse, Marlene, I'm not feeling well. And then you see them posting on Facebook, maybe not them, but another friend that you guys have in common. And you see them posting on Facebooks at the movies with so and so. Or so
Yeah.
and so and so and so were at, this restaurant eating. So you're like, oh, okay. So you had you weren't feeling well, feeling good for me, but you're okay with
Hmm.
this person. So you start getting those little hints, and it's up to you if you're gonna respect yourself enough to say, you know what, this is no longer a friendship, right?
Hmm.
And just start pulling away from them. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Sometimes that's a good thing.
Yep. That's the best that look. I remember when I started at the. I do this at the beginning of every year. If I haven't heard from you in 6 months, I just start deleting your number out of my phone. And I don't care who you are. You could be my sibling or you could be whoever. If I haven't heard from you in 6 months, I was like, you're wasting a contact in my phone. So I delete it. So when they come back and they're like, hey, how you doing? And when I don't see a contact name show up, even if I know who it is, I was like, who is this? And they're like, oh, stop playing. You know who this is? I'm like, no, I really don't. I was like, I deleted your number from my phone. Why are you contacting me?
I'm gonna start doing that from now
Yeah.
on.
At the beginning of every year, that's what I do. Every January, I'm like, nope, nope, nope. Delete, 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 delete. And then when I was like, why are you contacting me? Okay. I was
You
like, I
know,
haven't heard from you in 7 months.
yeah.
Interesting. What's
What I
changed?
what I do when somebody calls me like that, family or foe, I mean, or friend, when they contact me like that, I don't even say hello. I just said, "What do you want? What do you need?" Oh, I was just calling to say hi. Nope, that's not true. I haven't heard from you in a long time, so there must be something you need. But let me cut to the chase. I can't help you, and I hang up.
Oh, you're petty. See
I'm
me, I
petty.
like to see. I like to have fun, Nexie. I like to have fun. I get them all excited. Oh, so what's going on? How's everything? Pretend, just play with them. Oh, for real? Oh, how is this person? Oh, that's good. And then when they get comfortable, oh, well, I wanted to ask you if I could borrow some money. Oh, I said I'm getting. I can't. Hello, hello. Are you there? And then hang up.
I've tried to do that with my kids over text. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, but they don't buy it.
Yeah,
They're like, "Mom, you're texting me."
yeah.
No, but it's true though. And the thing, I do this because to keep yourself, sane, to keep yourself in your entire self sane and
I think your signal went out, Nexie.
happy, just the part of life. I don't dwell on things like that. And that if you tell me something personal, that's exactly what it is to me. Even if you don't say it's personal. If you tell me something about your family or about your life, I'm not going to go over and talk to my husband about it. I'm not going to go over and talk to our friends about it. I'm not going to do that because you told me in confidence
Confidence. Mm-hmm.
between the two. And you don't have to say, "Hey, don't tell so and so about it." But if you
Mm-hmm.
do, let's say you do, then I'm going to take it even more into consideration. But I normally don't do that because that's how gossiping starts.
Mm-hmm.
And that then you start not trusting that person, because I don't understand what's the need for people to go and divulge your personal business or your business with anybody else. There's no need.
I say that all the time. Like, if you feel like such a need to divulge personal things that was said in a private between the two of you, if you feel like it's not a big deal to share, hmm, how would you feel if I did the same thing back to you? Even though I'm not that type of person, even when I have an opportunity, like when things go left in a friendship, I still never go and tell their personal business because I'm just not that type of person. But
Mm-hmm.
people will prove who they are,
Oh yeah.
after, yeah, they will show who they are after it breaks apart. Then you start hearing all kinds of stuff about you, and you be like, I dodged a bullet on that one, right?
Mm-hmm. There you go. And a lot of times, like, it's a blessing in disguise, really,
Yeah,
because you don't, people like that are more of a liability than they are a friendship or a blessing.
yeah.
They're
It's
not they're not worth your time, your precious time, or your
mhm,
love, or your caring, your nothing like that. They're not worthy of your time.
right. And I always say sometimes the best blessing that you can have is when people leave your life. You're like, thank you.
And
That one's gone.
yeah, the mother and daughter duo said something earlier about family. And
Hmm.
it's true, some family members are like that. They're very they talk too much sometimes. Like I said, it happens sometimes, with cousins, that you say something, or sometimes, even your mom sometimes, they know something about you, and then somebody else from the family tells you, "I'm so sorry you're going through that. I didn't know your child had that," or "I didn't know, she had problems with her eyes," or "I didn't know that her grades weren't good right now this year," or you know what I mean, things like that. And you're looking at that person like, what just happened, or why is this person all into my business? And then they
Yeah.
you know they can do things like that. Family is sometimes very problematic.
Hmm.
I didn't want to say anything else.
Can we put that in caps and put it in string it in lights?
I have had things like that, happen to me, and it's embarrassing because sometimes these are things that, what if, my daughter heard, right? What if my son heard that this person said this to me, and now she's, my child is going to think that I'm over here talking to everybody about her business. So things like that, family sometimes is at fault for doing things like that. And I have gone through that with my mom. It's a matter of fact, and I'm just gonna throw it out into the universe, see what happens. But I have gone through things like that with her. That I say something that one of my kids or something that I'm going through, and then I hear it coming back from that other side of the family with horns and tails and all of added things into
Mhm.
the little sentence that I gave her.
Right, because I'm so sorry that that's happened to you, Nexie, and anybody. When you tell somebody something and they divulge something personal, to somebody that you don't want to know the information. So it's very hurtful. I'm sorry that that happens to everybody, but everything is a lesson. We always learn. We always learn from everything, whether it's good or bad. You
We
always
do.
learn something, and that's when you find out who are really your people and who really aren't. I have one more thing that I want to hear your input on this. What about the controlling friends,
Mm.
Nexie? What about the ones that are controlling?
The person that I told you earlier, the one that I had been my friend for 15 years, um, that person was always like, where are you at right now? Like in the morning, oh, I'm at work. And what are you gonna do after work? I'm just gonna go home with my kids. Oh, okay. Call me when you get home, okay? Okay. If one day had a half a day, oh, I'm gonna go out to eat. With who? My cousin or my sister. Oh, where are you going at? So and so place. Oh, how come you didn't invite me? I would love, I like your sister. I would have loved to go with you guys. Because I wanted to go with my sister. You know what I mean? That person was like that. But those things I didn't see until everything happened. Like I didn't realize that that was kind of like a control mechanism on her part.
Yes, 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 yes. And I think we all know people like that. They want to know everything that you're doing every minute of the day. I mean, every minute of the day. Oh, and what did you eat? Oh,
Oh,
oh, I
and
love that
what
kind
you're
of
wearing,
food.
Marlene,
Oh,
what you're wearing.
yeah.
When did you
And
get that?
okay, listen. We all have those, and especially, I can't say guys necessarily, but that's usually a thing that women do. But if you get an outfit and then next thing you show up to something and they're wearing the outfit that you just bought last week, and you're like, what is going on?
Oh, no, no, no. Marlene, you remember what I said to you the other day. That was
Mhm.
creepy. One of my family members, I'm not going to go into detail who it was.
Mhm.
That person, Marlene, when we first met, when I first came into the family, my husband and I bought a house, painted it certain colors that I like, and bought furniture, that kind of matched the colors and everything. So we invited him over for a housewarming party, right? So we
Mhm.
invited everybody. Everybody comes, whatever. So let's say a month or two later, right? Let's put it on that time frame. I go. They invited us to a birthday party on their, for their son or something like that. We get there and I see my entire house in her house. The painting, same colors. The trimming of the windows, the same color as my house. Furniture, the same color as mine. Not the same furniture, but kind of the same color. Their bedroom sheets, same colors as my bedroom sheets. Um, and my husband had bought a car, okay, blue, dark, dark, like electric blue, beautiful blue. We found out that day that they had bought a truck, the same color as our truck. It was like the
Mm.
Twilight Zone. Like you said to me,
Do
it
you
was
see
like
what
the
I put in
Twilight
the?
Zone.
Did you see what I put in the chat? I put a whole bunch of eyes and psycho. It's like you remember, like with that music that they always play, and like somebody's holding a
Yes.
knife, like ee 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 ee.
Like realist. It was so weird. Realist. It was like a home away from home, for me. And I was like, we gotta go. This is psycho status. And even
Yeah,
because even my husband, when he came into the kitchen and he saw, oh, and the kitchen, the windows, their curtains, same
yeah.
little fruit patterns with the lime green and everything, almost the same as mine. I was freaked out, Marlene. My husband's like, I
Yeah,
know,
I would
I
I
know.
would be like, I feel uncomfortable. I'm not feeling well.
No, I
Yeah, I
said,
gotta
I have
go.
to go. I told my husband, we have to go. I think they're gonna murder us at the end of this movie. Oops, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that word. I'm so sorry. I
Oh,
think
that's okay. I'm not monetized yet.
okay, I'm so sorry. But
Don't
I said
worry. Don't
I think
worry.
we're not gonna make it to the end of this movie. We got to go. He's like, you're so dumb. But it was like my house, and they lived in a smaller house. It was like probably like a one bedroom, tiny little house. But everything, and including the car, was just like ours. Oh, and going forward, Marlene, everything, my the way I dressed, she changed everything on her to kind of mimic me. And if
Oh,
we
she
went
wanted to
somewhere,
be you. She wanted
I
to be
don't
you.
know. It was just
No,
weird.
no, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, they want to be you.
That was so creepy. And we stayed away from that family. They will invite us over, would always come up with some excuse. And then they asked us to be the godparents of one of my nephews. And that's a blessing, right? So I couldn't say no. But I was like, are they going to allow them into the church? I'm not sure if they're going to be able to enter those doors. But it was so mind-boggling that this woman, in a matter, because we decide how to decorate our houses, right? But this woman, in a matter of months of knowing me, everything was all about me, kind of like, and then going forward, cell phones, purses, shoes. It was so weird. It was so
Yeah.
weird,
Hmm.
so surreal, so
Yeah.
surreal.
I didn't have anybody that went to that extreme like you, but it was like somebody I knew, like everything that I would have on, like my necklace or a purse or an outfit, and they always, oh, where'd you buy that? Where'd you buy that? And then they would go and buy it and wear it. Like the next time I would go to an event or something, I would see that. I was like, that's my purse. Those are my shoes. I was like, I was like, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
stay away from them. So, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get anybody who like did the same hairstyle or or decorate their house like me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Anita, it was a family member. That's the worst thing, that it wasn't even a friend. It was a family member that we had to be part of. We couldn't
mm-hmm.
go around that. So, yeah. And the same thing with me, Marlene. Everything, like the style, when I met her, her style of dressing was totally different than mine. I'm very laid back. I don't, dress up only if I need to. But if not, jeans and a t-shirt and tennis shoes. That's how I am. But then I started finding her wearing jeans, kind of like same color as mine, and then my tennis shoes just in a slighter, either lighter or darker color, and then t-shirts. And even people that knew her before me, because she had been in the family 10 or 15 years prior than I had, like I just started, I just got married with my husband, so it wasn't like someone that I knew for a long time. So people that knew her would tell her, what's going on with you, like you've changed. And I'll be like, I gotta get out of here. This is weird. This is so weird. And but
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable, because even though you know I wanted to probably keep the peace and closeness with the family, keep everybody together, sometimes going around them was uncomfortable. Like if we bought when cell phones first came out, Marlene,
Mm-hmm.
that everybody had the Motorola one, the flip one. We got
Yeah.
a cell phone. We got a cell phone because of work and everything. We needed cell phone because of the kids. They were expensive back then, right? We got a cell
Yeah,
phone.
they were so expensive.
Exactly. Like probably like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks later, they show up in my house with the same cell phones, and they got a cell phone too. And I'm like, okay. And they're showing all of the buttons that their cell phones had. And I was like, what is wrong with you people? What
Oh,
is wrong?
next thing I have to highlight this comment from the mother and daughter duo. That sounds like it is. It sounds like a line from that movie Single White Female
Yes.
where she came into her life and started dressing like her. I was like, yes, that's what it sounds like.
But you know
Yeah.
what? It's actually that movie. I thought it was just a movie. Ah, whatever. Who will ever go through that? Who will ever do that? Once it happened to me, there is more people that go through this than I could imagine back then. And I had
Mm.
never experienced this, Marlene, ever in my life, ever. Oh, and I got my hair colored. I wanted to have, remember when the highlights, those big old streaks of
Oh
highlight?
yeah. I think all
All
women
of
had
us
that.
did.
I think and if you say you didn't, you're lying.
Yes,
Everybody had it back in the
we
day.
all did those fake things. They were so horrible. I see some pictures and I'm like, oh my God. Well, guess what? Again, I did my hair. We went somewhere. This wasn't people that we were seeing every other weekend or anything like that. We try to keep away from them from that day going forward. I try to keep away from them because it was kind of I didn't feel right anymore around them. So they saw me at a party, one of the family members' parties, again in a park. She sees me like that. I see her the next time they came over to our house to celebrate my mother-in-law's birthday. She comes with big streaks on her hair. But she didn't have them when I saw her at the park, you know? So that's right there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was so weird. And I loved her kids, I really did. I liked them so much. But I stayed away from them because, I don't know, it was giving me a very uncomfortable feeling and I didn't know how to address this, how to say, hey, can you please stop copying me because it's making me uncomfortable because I thought I was being childish.
But
If
it's
I
not.
said something.
And what realist said was she you said she's married, right?
Yes, she's my brother-in-law's wife.
Oh, okay.
So we were family.
The only reason why I asked that is because, yeah, I was saying, watch your man next. That was next. Watch your man.
No, that's my sister-in-law. Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, that's why I couldn't, just get rid of her or not see her because she was in every event we went. And my mother-in-law's birthday is on the 25th of December. So, they will come over, bring the gifts, and then have parties together, whatever. And whatever, my kids got. Oh, that's another thing. If my kids got something that her kids didn't get, she will try to find it so that her kids can have it too. Yep.
She's obsessed.
She
She's
was.
obsessed with you.
I
Yeah, she's
I I
obsessed with
I'm
you.
telling you, Marlene, I once I started having kids and I was able to come up with more excuses, we can go because so and so is sick. Yeah, next time I catch you guys next time because the kids are not feeling well, whatever. That's when we started to move away from them and give that space between us because again, it's my family member. It's not someone I can just say you're not my friend anymore. That's it. It's someone that is married to my husband's brother. So I had to have her in my life even if I didn't want to.
Hmm. Yeah, there's some relationships that you can't get around, but it's like things like that. That's way beyond anything that that you can even imagine. So I think there's one more that I want to ask you about. Yeah, manipulative. Did we talk? I don't think we talked. We went
Yeah.
into that one.
Yes, we did.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yes, yes, we did. With the
Okay.
friends that manipulate your time,
Oh
your,
yeah, that's right.
you know,
Okay.
your, and that's how we got into this psycho persons.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I covered all of the points. So that's feel like we've covered everything, and this has been an amazing topic. And we do have, I don't know if one or two more points, but definitely this is a to be continued.
Yes, it should be.
Definitely, this is a to be continued. So, y'all be careful out here with people who pretend to be our friends and they're really not. What do they call them? Frenemies?
Your
Yeah.
frenemies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, be
Careful,
careful.
careful of the frenemies. So, thank you so much, Nexie.
Thank you for having me, Marlene. And be careful, everybody, who you give your
Yeah.
friendship to. Not
Yes,
everybody's worthy of it. Thank you, Marlene.
exactly. Exactly. Thank you so much for tuning into the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, subscribe to this channel, share this out on your social media platforms, and I will see you on the next Marlene Saunders Show. Bye, everybody.